American philanthropists and TCI natives joined up yesterday to tour quaint old Salt Cay. The island, which has a population of under 100 people and is home to what was once a lucrative salt industry, was on showcase as the Turks and Caicos National Trust and the Turks and Caicos Preservation Foundation tried to raise money to save Government House there. In a matter of hours, over $12,000 were raised to help Salt Cay preserve its charm and splendor as an original settlement in the Turks and Caicos. Philanthropists, conservationists, government officials, community partners, and the media were a part of a 4-hour tour through Salt Cay. It was a glad day because so many lovers of the TCI were able to see firsthand what Bermudians saw all those years ago when they settled in Salt Cay. Helen Kriebel is a resident, president of the Turks and Caicos Preservation Foundation, and an historian of 40 years' experience.
You know, I think people now understand who are here why this preservation project is so terribly important, because there's so much here, so many beautiful buildings. And as I've said before, if you don't know your roots, if you don't know your past, it's hard to face your future. And this is the roots of the Turks and Caicos.
The Turks and Caicos National Trust Executive Director Ethelyn Gibbs led the contingent and explained that government has empowered the trust to be a savior of sorts to what is indigenous and of what holds the history of the island. The trust is one of the most unique statutory bodies of the government, and the tour was a hit. Former Chief Minister Derek Taylor reminisced.
Every time it brings back memories of my days growing up here. I went to kindergarten school here and started my primary school education here. In those days they had turkeys and chickens and pigs and what have you. And
so this house was like a big deal.
Oh yes, but as being mischievous young fellas, we did all kinds of things. I can remember coming from out of the upstairs window on the back of a turkey.
Centuries ago, Salt Cay was a thriving little town with a big product up for sale, and history says Salt Cay was the globe's leading provider of the white gold or salt. That's why saving Government House is so important, says residents, and former Minister for Natural Resources, the Honorable Galmo Williams, agrees.
If we don't support organizations like Helen's organization who want to help us to restore our history, then our generation would not know from whence we came. And my government is fully committed in us restoring our history, supporting groups like this. Actually, over the years, when I used to be the Minister of Natural Resources, I've said to the trust then that together we can do a whole lot of things. It's very important to get a private sector involved, private groups, private citizens involved to help us do it, because National Trust cannot do it alone, government cannot do it alone.
The old commissioner's house is currently owned by the trust, and restoring it will be a monumental task. It will take $600,000, and the aim is to have half of that before work begins. There are 8 categories for giving, from being a friend by donating as little as $1 to being a guardian of heritage when you give as much as $25,000 or more. So far, $119,000 have been raised. The tour included the Salt Ponds, 148-year-old St. John's Church, the Brown House, once a salt proprietor's house, the White House, built in 1885, and Government House. There was a Salt Cay lunch, including the famous cookies and candies.